A lot of exciting things are happening as we wind up the year, and not just excitement for fun, but for development purposes. For example, the 5th biannual private CEO retreat that is going to be happening in a very interesting location, Northern Uganda. We just did have a parliamentary sitting there recently, and now we are having a CEO's retreat in the same region. It begs the question, what is in this region that needs to be harnessed by the country Uganda? The Presidential CEO Forum, in collaboration with the Office of the Prime Minister and Captains of Industry in the private sector, are going to be convening for the biannual private sector CEO retreat. And this one's going to be happening in a few days from the 12th to the 14th of September in Gulu City. The theme is Battle Green Field, transforming Northern Uganda into a commercialized production and logistical hub for exports. Well, I don't speak for them because I do have Mr. Deo Kayembe, who is with us in studio to give us more light on to what the CEO Forum is, this particular retreat to Northern Uganda is, and by and large, what is going to be the impact and effect of such on Uganda's economy. He's the board member with the Presidential CEO Forum. Good morning, Mr. Kayembe.
Good morning, Priscilla.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Now, we would like to understand from where you're seated about the Presidential CEO Forum. Could you provide us an overview of the forum? What's the objective? What's the mandate of this forum?
The Presidential CEO Forum is a unit set up by His Excellency the President, mainly comprised of private sector captains of business, CEOs, to drive the economy, to drive policy, to drive the way things are seen from the private sector eye. Okay. Normally there has been policies and the laws and everything that would drive the economy. However, there was critical lack of the private sector engagement in this. So what the CEO Forum does is to look at a particular sector of the economy and look at the facilitation that the government provides, looks at the policies, we look at all the aspects, we look at how the players are facilitated, how the policies are being implemented, and advise the government on how to modify so that it can have all the policies, all the laws can have maximum impact in the society and to the economy. Okay. That's what the CEO Forum does. It was started in 2020, and so far we have held 4 biannuals, 4 retreats, where the last one was on e-mobility. Now this particular one, the 5th retreat, is about commercialization of agriculture. You know, when the president was coming, when the government was coming this time, they committed to move this economy tenfold, from $550 billion, which we are doing, from 55 to 550. That is about tenfold in 10 years. This calls for a lot of action in many areas. And the commercialization of agriculture is key because the entire Uganda is agro-based. So that's why we chose this theme for the 5th biennial. And why in Northern Uganda? You know, Northern Uganda for the longest time was in war, was in insurgency. And when if you get a chance to go to Northern Uganda, you can see the kind of potential that this region has to transform Uganda and to create products that can make Uganda the leading exporter of agro-value added products. Okay. So that's why we chose Northern Uganda. Maybe I need to correct you a bit that we had planned to set up the biannual in Gulu, in this local area, because it covers districts, the entire districts in Northern Uganda. Gulu, Agago, Amuru, Oyamu, Kitigumu, and then we go to Nebi, Zombo, Yumbe, and then we go this side to Kalamoja, and then we come a bit south to Lida. So this entire area is covered. We had planned to have it there, but due to some changes, unavoidable circumstances, we are not able to have it in Gulu. We are going to have it in Kampala and here at Serena. Okay. So we have made arrangements and logistics to move the participants to
from
Kampala.
All those districts
from Kampala to Kampala. They will be here from the 12th to the 14th of this month. Okay. Actually this week. Yes. So we are going to host them here at Serena, and we shall achieve the same results. Why am I standing here? I'm standing here, I'm coming here as chairman of the technical working committee, which has been arranging this retreat. As the chairman who has visited all the districts, the chairman who have held legal clinics, consultations, and visited each one of the major farmers in the region. And I can tell you, Gulu is the place, Northern Uganda is the place to be if you talk about agriculture. Why you people here in Kampala are talking about 50 by 100? These are the plots you buy here in Kampala. Atanu kuchikumi. You know, it's a very popular, and the people brag about it, that I bought a plot atanu kuchikumi. People in Northern Uganda are holding on to 500 acres of land.
Unproductive
1,000 acres of land. 10,000 acres of land. Right. I have had a chance to go to a district like Noya, where I visited my brother, General Tema, and is having a farm of 6,000 acres of land. And when you go there, you can see they have already made progress. They have combined the harvesters, they have modern tractors, they have made progress. They only need to tweak the policies
into the
to be supported,
industrialization.
To support their export drive, because it is a big challenge. Okay.
Mr. Kayembe, how has the Presidential CEO Forum moved government in terms of policy, in terms of facilitation and on advisory levels?
We have made a lot of progress. In all the 4 retreats we have made, because before we hold a retreat, we make research, we consult, and we discuss widely. And when we go to the retreat, we come out with the resolutions. And I can say that we are the only organization where more than 90% of the resolutions we make at the retreat are implemented by government, put in the budget, and we have seen a lot of our resolution put the national plan, NDP form, which is just being completed.
Can you give us 2 particular resolutions that have been adopted by government?
I can give you one. Okay. When we went to Jinja, we resolved to prioritize the e-mobility. You are seeing now the government has prioritized electric motorbikes. You have seen government is running with Kayola and other EVs. We already have a facility that is going to produce them. You have seen countries around us that have come to Uganda to understand how we are doing it. Okay. That's our resolution. Number 2, we, in the 3rd biennial, we resolved to do import substitution in agro value addition and the minimum beneficiation and others. You can see now government has run with it, has put some duty on imported raw materials. We can now use our own ore in Southern Uganda because of our recommendation. Actually now, in some products, 100% of the input is coming from Uganda. And that's what they call backward integration and growth of the economy, deepening of the value chains. I can mention 101 resolutions that we have made. So
that is on the side of government, you know, having an uptake to some of the recommendations that you have forwarded to them. Let's look at it from the side of the business and industrial communities. How have they been able to gain from the different retreats that you've had so far?
Okay. Maybe I didn't introduce myself properly. Apart from being body member of PCF, I'm also the chairman of Uganda Manufacturers Association. And as the chairman of Uganda Manufacturers Association, I lead all the manufacturers in Uganda. This gives me a very good vantage point to see how we benefit from these policies. And I can tell you, as the manufacturers of Uganda, we have benefited immensely in the policies that have come up. We have contributed, and that's the very reason that I sit on the PCF board is because I represent a constituency of manufacturers, and I bring the advisory from manufacturers. We align policies, we align everything we do is for the benefit.
Let's talk about the Gulu Logistics Hub that has been newly developed. What is its role in facilitating trade and export growth in Uganda?
The Gulu Logistics Hub was critical, and it's a critical point, critical facility. Because when you produce, you have to aggregate, you have to store, you have to clean, you have to pack, you have to clear, you have to transport to wherever you are going. So our partners that have helped us to build the Gulu Logistics Hub saw this, that it's going to facilitate the business. And this is how it is working now, because already the Uganda Railways Corporation is there. The railway to Gulu is being revamped, and I think it will be done by end of next year to move cargo. There is URA there to clear the goods. They have allocated space for storage. Private sector, including my members, are going to develop facilities there to aggregate, to buy, to store, and to move cargo.
Okay. All right. Mr. Kayembe, as we come into the close of this conversation, what's your call to action, especially to the business community?
My call to action to the business community, that please embrace commercial agriculture. Look at the natural resources God gave us. Because you can be here fighting about Chinatown, coming to Kampala to bring Chinese good. But what do you have to take to China? And
make Kampala town
and make a Kampala town in China.
Yes.
What you have to take to China is the things that we are embraced with here. The agro products, the mineral beneficiated products, everything that you can talk of.
Yes.
The trees, the wood, processed wood is what you have to take to China.
Okay.
Go and make Kampala town in Guangzhou, in Peking, And then we shall balance.
All right, that's a very good call to action, especially for the business community who have been threatened by a few things here and there. But Mr. Deo Kayembe, board member with the Presidential CEO Forum, which is having its fifth biannual retreat that is happening in Kampala, being hosted at Serena, Kampala, from the 12th to the 14th. So teams from Northern Uganda are going to be coming here in Kampala. And then they're going to be looking into the theme, which is focusing on Battle Greenfield, transforming Northern Uganda into a commercialized production and logistical hub for exports. Looking forward to that. We're going to take a short breather.